you go, Jeff.
Oh, what's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, TikTok? And what's up, Sir Daryl?
What's
What
up,
they
Jeffrey
do?
Jordan?
And as you see, I have my special guest, celebrity guest host back again today, Tika
Yep.
Deshawn. What's up, Tika
Yeah, there
girl?
she is.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Sir Daryl, as well as Mr. Jeffrey Jordan? Thank y'all once again for having me.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So once again, we're gonna be reviewing Sister season 8, episode 9, I believe, if I'm not
Episode
mistaken.
8, season 8, episode 8 appearances.
I say episode 9, episode 8, my bad. All right, so we're gonna do our normal pause and play. Everything like normal. Did you have anything else to add, Tika or Daryl, before we get started? I'm trying to think.
Well, I wanted to let people know that they could join us today via Zoom if they wanted to. But all of a sudden, the link is not showing. So screw it. I'll drop it in the chat in a few minutes for anybody who might want to hop in on Zoom and talk to us. But
Okay.
outside of that, I got nothing.
All right, Tay.
All right, so here we go, everybody. Sisters, season 8, episode 8, and it's called Appearances.
All right. Pause it. I just wanted to like, was there like a real reason for Penelope to actually be there? Like, she just seemed to like show up and then she just planned on walking off. I mean, she just got out of witness protection not too long ago. You would think she would be getting her affairs in order. Like, this is where I've been all this time, still spending time with her brother. I would be scared. I would be sleeping on my brother's couch maybe for the next few days. That's something traumatizing. But was she there to gloat and watch Gary die? Or, I mean, she didn't even try and get in the room. It looks like she was just about to leave, right?
Yeah, that's actually the first thing that I thought to myself. I would be afraid of the whole thing. She's not under the protection of the feds anymore. But yet now she's just big
Nope.
and bad and bold and walking up into the same environment of people who would probably kill her. And she's just going to walk away as though she is completely safe to get back to the car. It's a little bit unrealistic for somebody to go from being so scared that they're protected by the feds to just walking up on the main people that they are afraid of and then just cussing them out and walking away.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's definitely showing no fear whatsoever. I don't know where this Penelope has been, but she is got a new set of cojones. That's all I can say. She got some new situations going on. So
Yeah.
I need to see what's her angle. Like, why are you really there? And just as Jeff said, she probably there for him to finish checking out, just to make sure he make it to that big lawyer or whatever that job was he had in the sky. So that new cemetery.
Um, yeah, she
Right,
certainly doesn't look
right.
afraid right now.
Yeah.
And like Jeff said, her whole point seemed to be to just walk away. Like she wanted to make her presence known, let people know she wasn't scared, and then bounce.
Right.
So, as far as digging into your emotions.
Pause it for a second. Um, does Danny like pay for those sessions? And like, so I'm gonna ask you, do you think Danny pays for those sessions? I can't remember if she does. And is therapy like a waste of time for her? Is it wasted on her? I'm gonna ask Tika first.
Yeah, you go.
I'm not sure if she actually paying for the section. I'm thinking she is because she keeps calling the therapist to come back and talk with her. And I don't think that the therapy is a complete waste of time. It's just taking Danny longer to process, uh, more than someone else may process. But it seems like it's working. It's starting to work, and it's just going to be a slow process for her. I don't think it's a waste of time.
I'm
So
assuming
Daryl.
I'm assuming Danny has insurance and insurance is paying for it and she has a very short copay. I don't see Danny spending
Hmm.
any money. I mean, at this point, since she seems to believe in it, there's a chance she might come out of her pocket with something, but especially at the beginning, I don't see as cheap as she is. I mean, remember, she has everybody else pay for everything in her life. That's just kind of the way she does things. So I don't see or coming out of pocket with any real cash for that. So I've just been assuming it was insurance. Now, going back to whether or not it's a waste of time, I don't think so. I think that her initial way of dealing with this therapist was problematic, but it's just tearing down the walls of Danny and getting through all of the different layers. And I think that this therapist has gotten through enough that she's willing to call her when she's in trouble. I mean, that's not the Danny that we knew a couple of seasons ago. She wouldn't have. She's just always right. The Danny of a couple of seasons ago. I mean, Danny now is always right, but at least there's just one person that she can confide in and bring in and kind of admit how wrong she went. And she's actually seeking help. The Danny that we used to know, if she thought that she had messed things up with the man, she wouldn't have even seen it as her messing things up with the man. She would have seen it as the man messing things up with her, and good riddance. So I think that we've already seen a certain amount of growth.
All right. I mean, I do think she's paying something. It's a small amount. It's a copay, $15, $20 copay.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't, I've never seen a therapist, so I didn't know you could use your insurance for that, but she probably got that good insurance. Um, I don't think it's helping her. Maybe it is. I just don't see it. I see the same Danny we've seen from previous seasons. The only thing I'm seeing is maybe she's talking about it to this therapist versus talking about it with Andy or one of the sisters. She's talking about it with another person, but she's still having making the silly same mistakes. She's still in a relationship when she shouldn't be in a relationship. But that's just my opinion. But that's it.
But when you say she's talking about it, you can't even see that she's talking about it in a different way.
No, no. I feel like she's talking to this therapist as if she was talking to one of the sisters,
No.
and they will just sit there and listen. That's what I think. It's not the exact same way because the therapist, she's obviously trained and will have a different perspective. But is Danny's actions is her actions any different from the previous season?
No. But that's not the
Same thing,
definition
right?
of
I'm
growth.
just
No, I'm agreeing with you
I
that the
didn't say it
actions.
was. I didn't say it was.
I'm not. But you asked if it was helping. There's so many different layers. Danny is so freaking complex that we are pulling back so many layers. The fact that from my perspective, the fact that she's having these conversations is the sign of progress. It's going to be a while before we see it in action.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a little time, but she, just like you said, Daryl, when she's talking to this therapist, she's actually talking and she's taking accountability for what her part is, her wrong in the whole situation. When she's talking to her friends, specifically Karen, and sometimes even Andy, it's like they respond to her in judgment. They don't just they really don't just listen and maybe give her advice on it. They're always critiquing her, down talking her a lot. And so I think with her speaking with this therapist is giving her a different way of looking at it. And I just think I don't know how much more of a different Danny we'll get. Danny is probably going to always have a reaction. It's just how or what type of reaction she'll start to have versus the ones that she used to have.
Yeah.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Oh no, we dividing and conquering. I'm here while she's opening up the shop.
Spoken like true business partners.
I know that this was about a minute back, so I'm not going to rewind it, but whenever I hear something like that just happened there in that dialogue where she says the babies are craving, I think berries, and then he says something for the baby, and then she responded back, babies, plural. Whenever I hear that, something like that in a Tyler Perry script, I just always assume that was not the script. Because I know that like one of the things that they do is they're taught in a way that when a mess up happens, just fix it. Like we don't cut just because somebody said the wrong line. We go around it and fix it. And I always assume that the script wasn't written like that. I just assume that this is a good example. Now, sometimes the examples are when they do that, from my perspective, aren't necessarily so good. But they've been pretty good lately, though. But it would be funny if I was just wrong and it was written in the script. Back when I go back to the times that I think it wasn't good, because that would just mean that I'm basically saying that the script is really bad. But I do kind of like their ability to do that, almost almost like a stage play. Not that I like the stage play format on screen, but it's just kind of cool to see people recover from mistakes.
Right. I'm not going to let you hurt him again.
I'm done with this. Where is Gary?
When
Looking around. What the hell is that? Why is she looking around like he's about to walk up or something like that? He's in a damn bed. What kind of a question is that?
Yeah.
Silliness.
Just anything to get out of his face or get him out of her face, because I'm just wondering what the heck is up with Hudson. Did him and Gary, were they like a damn couple or something? Like, why is he so intense and so into protecting Gary? Like, what does he lose if something happens to Gary? I don't trust Hudson. I don't care if he's supposed to be there to support Gary. And I know this just came out of nowhere, but why? Because you own Andy. Like, why are you on her like that? Now you're protective. So, anyway,
He is acting like a jealous lover, like for real. That's the energy that he's giving off in this episode. Well, and I guess not even just this episode is the energy he's been giving off for a minute. But I didn't really feel it until this episode.
Yeah, I agree.
How that must have sounded. But I can explain everything if you just give me a chance.
Fine. But this better be good.
Pause it. So, like, why does everybody let Andy explain herself when they when they know she's dead wrong? Like, why even give her the opportunity to weasel out of it? Just let me explain. Just let me talk to you in private. Just let me just like they always give her a leg to stand on, and it's so freaking annoying. I don't even know why Penelope's still there. She said she forgot her purse, but I'm
She
pretty
wants some
sure
drama.
that's a handbag that. Yeah, but I'm saying that I'm pretty sure that's a handbag that never leaves her hand. It's not like it's a big, heavy pocketbook, but
And I don't
that's
know where
it.
she could have even left it because she didn't go in Gary's room. I mean, like she was just, where did she leave it? Just what sitting next to the elevator? Like where was she at that she left a bag?
I don't know. I don't know.
Penelope is lurking, trying to see what's going on, see who's there, who's, trying to, and I'm sure she was probably waiting and knew that Andy would pull up at some point in time just to attempt to catch her in some shape, form, or fashion of a lie. But I think Penelope, I think she's still into Gary, no matter what, because the way she's acting, it's like you stole my man or you were messing with my man, like that type of energy to me. I don't know what her angle is. Just watching it at this point, I just don't understand where her angle is.
I
Or
don't know
is she
why she.
also?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't know
I was
why
just gonna
she's
say
there
she also
necessarily.
thinking that female type stuff.
I don't know why she's there necessarily, but I was thinking that the angle was you're telling my brother that you're in love with him. Like I was thinking about it from that standpoint. But that doesn't explain why she would be at the hospital at all. Like why would you ever even bother to go check on Gary? At this point, why would you? Good riddance to Gary would be your thought. I mean, and you really, there's so much cynicism around Gary. There's so much sinister behavior. There's so much dark energy around him. I wouldn't even want to go watch him die. Like you just want to just stay away from that situation. He is the reason you were in protective custody. Just stay away.
Well, so there you was like you kind of said that she why is she going to check in on him? But I agree that she's there to see him on see him on his deathbed, so to speak, even though he's not dying. But I can understand. Would I ever do it? No. But I can understand you wanting to see someone at their lowest who's treated you like crap, who I don't know. Maybe she was there to poison him. I don't know. But I can kind of understand her wanting to see him in this state. She's not bringing him flowers. She's not sitting. by his side like Andy is crying. She's there letting everybody know that when he dies, it's gonna be a great day in hell or something like that. So I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I just wouldn't do it. I would think that she would want to stay away from him, but I get where she's coming from. She's upset. It doesn't make sense. It don't have to make sense because she's pissed off. So
All right.
pause it for a second.
Well, you two say
So when it comes to Sabrina and her boyfriend, right now everything seems like sunshine and lollipops. Do we foresee it always being this way?
No. No.
What do you think the next big issue would be for them?
I mean, you're talking as though they resolved any issues.
Well, I'm
I
just
mean, they're
what do you
getting
think the
along
next
very well
big
today. But just an episode or
okay.
so ago, they were arguing, right?
That's all I'm asking. What do you think the next big issue will be? They've clearly moved on, like a TBS sitcom. They've moved on from the whole situation with the donor and her ex freaking colleague, who she strung along, who was
Damn,
going to
I
donate,
forgot
and he
about
was
him
excited about
completely.
being exactly. And this is not somebody off the street. This was
Yeah.
Sabrina's colleague, who was a person of influence at her bank, and we don't even hear about him anymore. He just cascaded into the sunset, and we don't even talk about him anymore. Does she owe him an explanation? I guess not, but she still works with him to a degree because that's crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna
But
show up one day.
Tika, do
He's
you?
gonna end up being having to work at that branch or some kind of way. She's gonna have to deal with him again. Their next big argument could be something as simple as another guy talking to her in a to talking to Sabrina, and he sees that, or maybe when the baby is to be conceived. I still don't understand like timelines with that. That would be good to know. Because I still say they can
Yeah.
just do it the old fashioned way if they're trying to have a baby now.
I
Okay.
think Rich is gonna find an issue with anything that Sabrina does. Just as she went to lunch with Danny, like at the spur of a moment, and she didn't meet up with him. He took it straight personally. So he's a petty dude to me. He only donated because he didn't want someone else to do it. He was jealous because her
Hmm.
friend had lunch with her friend and not him. Like, he's extremely petty, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if the very next episode we get some drama between Rich as well as Sabrina, and it wouldn't even be her fault. It's just he's just a petty dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay. That's not necessarily the type of love I was talking about. I was talking about from, the male species.
Pause
we
it for a
don't have
second.
time for that now.
Like, I don't like the fact that Sabrina is just trying to shove this down shove this down Karen's throat like you're trying to get her to shack up with somebody. The girl is still pregnant. Like, by the way, not to say that you can't be in a relationship, not to say that you can't be dating while pregnant, which I think is kind of odd, but I wouldn't know. But I just think as a friend, I don't think Sabrina should be coaxing her to find a new love interest, especially with all the stuff that's been going on. You know the drama she just had, right? She's pregnant by two different guys. Like, now would be the time to self-reflect. And I think Karen's doing very good right now. Just like calm, focusing on her business, focusing on her focusing on her business, focusing on her uh children to be, and I just feel like sometimes the sisters don't get it right. Sometimes the sisters will cause you to make huge mistakes, and I think Sabrina's just pushing her in the wrong direction. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just a crazy ass conversation. You have a woman that's that pregnant, and you're not saying like, that guy is interested. This would be the only reasonable conversation. That guy, he's really interested in you. He's been trying to get with you or talk to you for, I don't know, a year. And he's not freaked out by the fact that you're pregnant. Maybe let him in a little. Maybe indulge the conversation. Maybe consider, getting a little bit closer to him. But that's not a scenario that's existing. So the scenario that she's proposing is for her to get on some apps, for her to go to a bar, for her to go to some singles club and try to pick up dudes while she's 7 or 8 months pregnant by 2 different men. That is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I've known many pregnant women, and I don't know any. I can't think of any that were not in a relationship that was interested in being in one at that particular stage of pregnancy, unless it was with the father of the person who produced that child. Like their minds aren't even normally on that. So that's just silly to me.
Yeah, Sabrina is the last one to be able to give relationship advice. Like, you're just halfway getting your relationship semi-decent with Rich, and that's a volatile situation sometimes. So why are you even trying to encourage Karen to date? And just as you guys are saying, Karen needs to be focused on herself. She needs to be focused on her children that are on the way. She definitely needs to be focused on her business, because just an episode or 2 ago, somebody tried to shut her whole business down. So she's got more things to worry about than to be in a relationship. I don't care if it's with either one of the baby daddies or some new dude. No, she needs to focus on herself.
Yeah. Well,
I
absolutely.
agree.
About me rekindling with, I know you're not talking about Zach.
Pause it.
Penelope,
Not that I have to mention it, but Sabrina's like such a bozo in this conversation. Like, why would you ask an open-ended question like that when you're talking about an old ex-lover, but there's only 3 that we know about, that which is Aaron, at best, Zach, and they don't even know about the stripper guy, right?
They probably do.
But I'm just saying, when you consider somebody that you used to date, the main one is Zach. So why would you even insinuate something like that? That like, have you thought about an ex-lover? There can only be 1 or 2, either Aaron or Zach, right?
I think that Zach is just. I just think she's just not talking about Zach. I think that like Zach's just.
Okay, but she didn't say. But she no. But listen, to what I'm saying. She didn't say anything, even though it cut to the next scene. She said maybe an ex-lover. She should have been more specific, because she only knows about 2 or 3 at the most. And when she mentioned Zach, she didn't say anything like, "Oh no, I'm not talking about Zach." She didn't say anything. She got a smirk on her face. So I just think she's careless with her advice. But go ahead, Tika.
I was just gonna say, I think they just wrote that as clickbait for us to like, oh damn, oh darn, she trying to get her to get back with Zach. You know what I mean? I think the writers just did that as clickbait, because something like that is gonna make me go and continue watching the episode to see if she's referring to Zach and how she's gonna get back with Zach. But yeah, I think it's just clickbait, or keep watching it.
Yeah, and I agree, but it still doesn't change the fact that I think Sabrina's trash for that conversation. Period. Even after your friend just said, I'm good. She even said, I'm good with my business. I'm good with it. She still, well, how about she's still trash for it. That's all I gotta say.
Penelope, I can.
Run along, Andy. You don't want to keep your man waiting.
I'm glad she remembered her purse this time. I was scared when she put it down. Like, is she gonna walk off without it all over again? That's a big ass purse. You don't leave a purse like that. You just don't.
What's that? Baby, you have a killer on speed dial. Why are we not using her? And while she's out, she could take care of Hayden too.
Zach, these are people we're talking about.
Pause it. Oh, pause it. Oh, pause it. Oh, Fatima. Oh, Fatima. Oh, you were doing so good. My cousin. I'm gonna call my cousin. And not they're freaking people. Are you serious? And so, girl, I need you to look at me because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to
Why?
you.
Why me? Why you
Are
gotta talk
you
to me? Why can't
serious?
you just say?
I'm
Why
so,
can't you
I'm
just
talking
say
to
what you gotta say? Why does it have to be talking to me?
I'm talking to the viewers, and I know what Tika stands to a degree because I'm going to get to that. But I'm talking to you because you will defend and defend and deflect. Defend and deflect. That's what you do. And what I'm saying is, if anybody, I got a comment. If anybody's deserving of Madam's wrath, would it be freaking Gary? I'm gonna start with you, Tika, to give him some time to cook up something. But you go first, and then
Cook up
then next
something.
to Daryl. If anybody, no, no, let me clear the question. If anybody's deserving of Madam's wrath, would it be freaking Gary?
Without a doubt, instantly, instantaneously, he should have been gone by the hands of Madam. Definitely. I don't know what Fatima is thinking right now, talking about let's know their people. Since when have they become people? I'm not with this particular Fatima right now. I don't agree with that. You need Madam, especially whether it's Hayden, whether it's Robin. You definitely need to go ahead and get rid of darn Gary. Like all three, the triple
Here we go.
three need to just go. Fatima,
Here
girl,
we
is
go.
that a pregnancy brain that's causing you to have empathy, causing you to have a little bit of emotion? I'm confused. What is it? I'm not with it.
And Tika, just a comment. Don't blame it on having a baby. Don't blame the scatterbrain on the baby because she's been the same way. She's been the same way even before getting pregnant. So all right. So go ahead, Usher Darrell.
Well, what,
Let's
go
go.
ahead with what? Listen, here it is. Fatima is saying that these are human beings. When have you heard about her calling for people's deaths? When was she talking about? When was she physically calling for people to be killed over and over and over again? And it's a ridiculous statement right now in the midst of all of this to be making phone calls to have somebody killed. Not right now. The heat is on. The heat is too hot.
Did anybody? I didn't say she had to call to get somebody killed or murdered. We said just make that phone call. Madam does what she wants, regardless whether it's to come there and give these people a good scare. It would be something because I'm pretty sure Fatima can't dictate how Madam gets it done, right? All she
Yeah,
has to do is make that phone call, and it's a slap in the face to hear, I'm gonna make this phone call, I'm gonna make this phone call, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And now we see full of hot air, full of freaking hot air, just like Zach is, full of hot air. Am I wrong?
yes, yes.
All right. It's not I like it's not even it's a waste of time to even trying to argue because you're just not even gonna explain why I'm wrong. You're just gonna say I'm wrong.
Well,
When
yeah,
I
I
pointed
answered the
out,
question. I answered the question you asked, sir.
you didn't so you danced away. What was it? What was your answer?
The answer was
You,
yes.
you said, all right.
Penelope chick, not here.
Hey, I told you, Andy did not do this. I still gotta look into Penelope, but I got it. I got it.
She got to look into. So she's an investigator now. She has turned into a
This
private
is
investigator.
so stupid. Inspector Gadget. She
Inspector,
got
no,
so
we
much
ain't got to
freaking
call her
time on her
inspector.
hands.
We ain't got to call her
So
inspector
much,
gadget.
so much freaking time on her hands, concocting up this freaking plan, and we already know is nothing's gonna come of it because every time she's trying to come up with a plan, nothing happens. She's gonna end up
Why
snooping
can't you just
around.
talk about what's happening right now? Why do you always have to go back to something that happened before and then criticize her and then judge everything that's happening now off of the past? We're in now time, Jeffrey Jordan. We're not back then.
It's called a pattern. It's called a freaking pattern, and she's in that rut, which makes zero sense. And like Zach said, I would have respected it more if she made that freaking phone call. Like, listen, madam, my behind is on the line. Robin, he has this picture of me in a compromising
So who do you
state.
want killed?
I
Who do you
need you
want
to
killed?
handle it.
Who do you want? Who do you want handled?
Not even get. They could have got the picture. They could have beat it out of him. I
Beat
don't care
out of
how they
who?
do it. But I'm saying she needs to pull that trigger because if she has the power to get something done and
Who do you
season after
want
season after
killed, Jeff?
season.
Who do you want?
No,
Whose
nobody in
head do you
particular.
want
Nobody
blasted
in
open?
particular, because you trying to hang your hat on that. You know what I'm trying to say. She needs to. That's fine. You can put me on that. You can put me on that all day. She needs to call madam and get the situation handled. Point blank. It don't matter how. It
It don't
doesn't
matter.
matter
It don't
how
matter
madam.
whose blood is rolling down the street, as far as you're concerned.
Who
Jeffrey
said
Jordan
blood?
can
But who
have
said
Robin's
blood?
blood.
Who said blood?
Does it have to?
Who
Should it be
said blood?
Gary's blood? Should it be Hudson's blood? Whose head do you want to see hung up on a lamppost?
Who said blood? Period. I said that she needs to
You want him
make
to
that
dissect
freaking
him up like
call
Dexter?
because Madam has resources. Duh. Madam does has freaking resources. Duh. And she can get that picture from Robin. She can beat it out of him. He doesn't have to die. And so you do know Madam has more than one way to skin a cat, right or wrong.
She can do it a few different
Hello?
ways. Yeah, you might be right.
But see that's the problem. I might be right. I take all of that for you to see my point. Why isn't Fatima making this phone call?
Maybe she's more soft these days.
Hmm.
Turn over a new leaf, maybe. Give her credit for that. Now is not the time, I guess, in your estimation. Now ain't the time to change.
It's very convenient. I mean, it's stupid, right? This doesn't make sense, right? Waiting, then wasting your time snooping around trying to investigate, which I just don't get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thoughts, Tika, or should we just move on?
I mean, they're obsessed with the flow chart. At the end of the day, they got to get through the flow chart that they have created. They got to weave out who did or didn't attempt to take Gary's life. They're trying to make sure that they're not on that flow chart anymore because of what his name just slipped. Robin, because of the evidence that Robin had. So now it's like, okay, we got to do whatever we got to do to weave us out of the situation. Fatima, I don't understand this Fatima. I don't know what's causing her to think the way that she is thinking. Maybe it's because she's trying to graduate. Like she's trying to get her degree, her law degree. She's trying to, be an upstanding citizen right now. So maybe that's why she's trying to think like an attorney. Maybe
Why is that so
because of the
funny,
class
Jeff?
she's taking, she's thinking like an attorney. I'm just saying. She's got to think instead of act at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jeff.
Tika, Tika, I agree with you wholeheartedly. She needs to start freaking thinking and using her freaking head, just like you said, Tika. She needs to start freaking thinking for once in her freaking life. I agree with you, Tika. Yes.
So I think that at this point, all three of us probably agree that this is the theme of this season. Who done it? Who tried to kill Gary? And everybody is a suspect, as I mentioned at the beginning of this season. When I was talking to Jeff, it's the who shot JR moment of my time. But do you think we're going to have resolution by the? I don't. Wait, have we hit the mid-season finale yet of this? So episode 8.
That's
So
episode 8. So they normally
it's
get
coming.
what, 20
Yeah,
episodes?
it's coming. So
Or maybe 1 or 2.
by the end of the season, are we going to have I do not. I mean, I really don't want to carry this storyline to the end of the season, but I think it's pretty clear that we are. I remember at the beginning, Jeff and I were saying, how many episodes are they going to drag this out? I think it's clear they're going to drag it out for the season. Do you all think it might possibly go into next season though?
That's the storyline. And we have to see if, what state of mind Gary's going to actually be in once he comes out of this situation. Is he going to be able to reveal who actually plucked him, or is it going to be, somebody going to have the evidence that they need to potentially get whoever did what they did to him? I do believe that in not just because of Tyler Perry, but in that world, things have been known to drag all the way to the end of the season and into a brand new season. So at this point, it's just like, what's next?
Here's my prediction. At the last episode, Gary is going to be getting out of the hospital. He's going to be headed home. Andy is going to be right by his side. And when it's the two of them in alone, he's going to say, finally, we're alone. I know who did this. I can tell you now. And then that's when it's going to go off. Something like that. As he's explaining to her who actually did it. And then we all have to, of course, wait until next season, which would probably be next month. The month behind that to figure out who did it. Probably get a little preview of the next season.
Obviously, I'm not talking about Zach, okay? Because he's with Zatima. And the three of you, the drama has subsided already, so we need to keep it that way.
The team and I are in a better place. But honestly, that don't even matter. It's irrelevant. Zach and I have been done for a long time. Probably before they even met. As long as the three of us can get along and co-parent.
Are you seriously shaking your head to that?
I'm not in my head. Is that a problem?
Yes. You know damn well she's lying.
Whoa, hold on. First off, Tika, did you see a problem with what she just said?
No, because I felt like she finally admitted it. She finally admitted that her and Zach were over way before Fatima, came into play. So it took her months to acknowledge that. So no, you're not wrong. I mean, no, you're not wrong in that aspect.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like certain characters on the show are evolving and elevating themselves, and she's one of them. I'm just saying, Andy is not evolving. I think Andy is just the same Disney person as she was in season one. But but it's true. But I want to know what you felt, how you felt what Karen said was wrong, Sir Darryl.
Because Zach was over her. She wasn't over Zach. So when you frame it like that, what I hear is, yeah, it's no big deal. We were done with each other. So whatever. That was not the energy she was bringing. She was not done with it. She's just recently done with Zach.
What I'm saying is, it's almost as if she was reflecting when she thought back. She was just like, we probably was over even when they met. And I think that's just how she said it. She was like, we probably were mentally done with each other when they met. And that's what she said. Come on, Sir Darryl.
Okay, I'm trying to go with this. So if that's the case, from your estimation, she's basically saying, I've been tripping.
Because that's fine. So you can go.
No, I would hope so. I mean, because that's what that would have to mean. That she was absolutely bugging, because that would be the taking of responsibility. You're saying that that's the energy she's bringing to this?
You can go with that too. I didn't think about that, but that's fine too. But she's saying that she's over it. They've been over for some time.
Well, let me ask you,
and I'm here for it.
Let me ask you, if she's correct that they were over before Fatima came along, that does mean she's been bugging up until recently, right?
Yeah, and she said they probably were over, but that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's.
And we all know that. We all know she was tripping. We saw it. She was flipping out. And like I say, even though she was flipping out, I still understood where she was coming from. That don't make it right. She was nuts. Fighting over a guy is stupid. But she was tripping back then, and I said that back then, and I say it now.
You didn't really say it back then.
Yes, I did. And I got video, baby. I can, I got them clips. I got them clips. So let's stop it. All right.
What about Aaron?
Well, of course, I want Aaron and Zach to get along, because when they beef.
Yeah. But I'm not necessarily talking about the relationship between Aaron and Zach. I'm talking about the relationship Aaron has with you. He is one of the fathers of your baby, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
So that means I should be booed up with him?
I don't. I'm not gonna stay on this, but if I remember correctly, Aaron still has never tested positive for as being one of the baby's fathers, right? That just never happened. He tested
I don't
negative
know.
from the first one, and then Zach came back and tested positive for one of the babies. So we're still in the scope of, well, the other one must be Aaron's because when he tested, his DNA probably was just not matching the one baby. And so since she's got two babies and only Zach matched with one, then the other one must be Aaron's. We're still in that because I don't think we ever went back where he specifically tested for that other baby. No, I don't know. Yeah, that is not.
I don't recall. Yeah.
Yeah, I still say that they're gonna. I think that might have some lead in on why we're possibly bringing Rico back into this, because I still think that the surprise is going to be that. I mean, I've been saying for the longest that that's Rico's baby, but I bet you that other baby isn't Rico's. But even though that I do have that theory, it doesn't hold as much. It's not as big of a deal as it would be if we found out that the baby wasn't Zach's. Like if it was just one baby, and everybody assumed that it was Zach's baby, like everybody did when Aaron tested negative for it. That it wasn't he wasn't the father. It would have been a great storyline, not a great storyline, but it would have been spectacular, not in a good way, just meaningful for it to be Rico's baby. But if one of them is Zach's the big main character on here. Who really cares about Aaron as the other one? So maybe the writers wouldn't even put that much effort into it. Like I'm probably overthinking this for nothing because Aaron is so minor of a character in that regard that it wouldn't it wouldn't be as much of a, a mind blowing thing for it to not be Aaron's. Yeah.
Okay.
I am not going anywhere until Gary acknowledges me. I deserve that much.
Sorry, I have no idea who this woman is.
How's it? Oh, that was the last segment anyway.
Well, no,
Okay,
it was
so
not.
apparently,
It was just for a commercial. Wasn't the last segment.
oh, my bad. So, Gary either has amnesia or he's a good actor on the show. He knows how to play the part. So, do you guys think that he really has amnesia, or is he just playing a part? And if he really does have amnesia, why is he skipping over not remembering Penelope but remembering Andy? I'm sorry,
And
what you
and
said
and
there.
and 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 Hudson. How does he remember Hudson?
Yeah,
Hudson's
I don't know
the.
how far back him and Hudson go.
Mm,
I don't know how far back they go.
that's
But
true. We just met him.
so
Yeah.
TK, acting or real?
I don't know. Gary, I don't trust anything in that he does. To me, I'm just gonna say he acting right now.
Yeah.
He's acting.
That's
Something
true.
is
That's
something
true.
is triggered him to say that um who is that woman, because he was literally about to tell Andy something, and then as soon as Penelope walks in the room, oh, now your mind is going blank. Who's that woman? So yeah, I think he's acting.
Yeah,
I agree.
I tend to think that I tend to go with that same thing that he's probably putting on some sort of an act. Um, he probably immediately came out of this and probably remembers literally everything, um, and made up his plan like immediately.
Right. And I'm pretty sure Hudson's in on it, because he didn't seem to be shocked and appalled that Gary doesn't remember Penelope. He's going along with it, so that which leads me to believe that he knows what's going on and there's a bigger plan here than what we see. I don't know what it is yet, but they got some bigger plan, a bigger plan out in play.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You know, you would be elated to know I'm going to stick it out with the leadership training initiative.
Pause it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but this is so stupid. You went through all of this freaking crap only to turn around and say, I'm going to do it. I want to be me. F this freaking job. I want to just, I want to be miserable. And I'm happy at what I'm doing. And now here we go flip it. Oh, I really wanted to do it. I really wanted, I just didn't want you signing me up for it.
That's not what
Even though
she's
I had no
saying.
idea about it.
That's
She
exactly
didn't
what
have
she
to say that.
said.
That's what happened.
Exactly what
Thank
she
you.
said.
Well, then maybe she.
Thank
That's
you.
not what I
Her
got out of what she just
decision.
said just now.
It had to be her decision. He couldn't dare come in and dictate and tell her what new career path she's about to take. That's the way she took it. Even though he was only trying to guide her, she took it as he's trying to tell me what to do. And it's my decision to be the next higher learning or higher airline manager, trainee, and all this other stuff. It's her decision. She just wanted it to be her decision.
But what do you all? You all are saying that like now she actually wants to do it.
She just said it. What you talking? She just said she wants to.
Well, I thought it was a good option for me to better myself.
Like that, you don't hear the dripping with sarcasm going on there. You think she's being
What do
sincere
you?
right there?
So according to you, she's not really gonna go through with it. She's
Yeah,
just
she
being funny
is.
right
She
now.
is.
According to you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Yes, she is going to go through it. I don't get that she's not going to
Okay.
go through with it, but I get that what she's saying right there is just literally dripping with sarcasm in order to continue some sort of an argument with him.
It don't matter. If my point is still valid and firm, she's going through with it. We went through all of this freaking drama of her saying, I'm happy and content being just a regular worker bee. We went through all of this only to turn around and pivot and say, you know what, I'm going to do it now. I want to do it. I just didn't want you having anything to do with it. But keeping in mind now, I guarantee you, if she, well, first off, Danny didn't know when the window for the opportunity was. She didn't know anything about the program. If it wasn't for him, that window would have opened and closed because she wasn't checking for it. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't checking for it.
I
Okay,
also
yeah.
think that Krisha encouraged her. Krisha encouraged her to do that versus smoking and drinking and sexing all the time. I think that's going to be a substitute for all the other alternatives she's been using to get through her issues.
I agree.
You don't know who I am? V, let me refresh your memory.
Jordan ain't nothing if he just let that just go down. What the hell is going on? He just let his
Wait,
boss just get
let
slapped in the
what?
face.
Wilson?
Jordan? My
I
Jordan?
mean, Hudson.
Not Jordan.
I
Hudson,
mean,
yeah.
Hudson, yeah, sorry. Hudson ain't
Not,
nothing.
and not Jordan. It wasn't me.
Hudson ain't nothing to let something like that go down.
That was crazy.
But this is not over by a long shot.
This that one lone doctor, no orderlies, no nurses.
Nothing.
Yeah, he was
That's
asking,
funny.
and he was asking for guards. He'd been screaming guards.
I just want to know where she
That's
got
so
all
funny.
this courage from. Penelope is just bold this new time around. Bold, bold.
I don't understand why she's even there. She showed her face. I may have letting her get away with that, showing her face just to see, curiosity, just to see how he looks, just to see him crumble. But once she saw that he was waking up and alert, I would have just made my exit. Like, listen, I'm out of here. You know, I
And
don't get
she's
it.
so angry
Um,
that he's not acknowledging her. I don't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
On Sisters.
You walked in on your girl.
No, I didn't.
Your homie.
No, I didn't walk in. It was a video.
Now I really want to staple your ear to your jaw.
All right, is that all that you know? Sleeping with your boss and violence? You really have them, and me too.
Okay. Right. What do y'all think of the episode?
Sorry, what do I think of the episode? I'm gonna go last.
All right, Tika, what you think of the episode?
I mean, I thought it was a roller coaster. Like, you don't know at this point. They're throwing in these different little clues as to who may have been the person that actually tried to take Gary out. And then you got these windows that that dang it, what's her name? Karen should get back with either one of the baby daddies. Like it's just a roller coaster of what to do, who to do it with, and now we got Annie who's trying to get on somewhat of a path of getting deep into her own conscious mind and making some good decisions. I mean, it's just all over the place. It was a real hill of craziness for me. But I'm gonna keep watching because I need to know who really tried to take Gary out. I mean, they failed, but I just want to know who did it.
I hear that. I hear that. And I think we got a segment right quick of Picture It coming up. So, Daryl, you ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, Picture It. We got a segment that just happened. So, in this scenario, Gary has amnesia, and all his negative traits are removed. Can Andy and Gary live a normal life? I'm gonna start with you, Tika.
Not at all, because everybody, even the friends, are going to remember who the heck Gary really is. You can even change his face, give him a whole plastic surgery procedure to make him look like somebody totally different, change his voice, but at the end of the day, Gary is still Gary. And no, there's nothing normal about Andy or Gary being together at all in this life or the next life after. No, and no again.
So, Daryl, after you give your answer, I give mine. What do you think?
So I
Can they
agree
live a
with
normal life?
I agree with everything Tika said, but I think that Andy will be not hearing any of that. If that ends up
That's
being
what I'm
the case,
saying.
she will right away just start justifying everything and just saying, "Oh my goodness,
Yes.
he's a wonderful man. You all never really saw this side of him. You'll get a chance to see how great of a human being he is. He's wonderful. He's man. And then he'll be fake. Well, if that ends up happening, we'll find out at the end that he's faking it all in order to get her back. But if she can believe that he doesn't remember that stuff, she's gonna put all that stuff in the past, and that she'll immediately just fall head over heels for him all over again.
That's what I'm saying. And forget the fact, even when he was evil, she was trying to be with him. So now the fact that he has amnesia permanently in this scenario, it's like, let's just say in this scenario he really does have amnesia permanent. She's gonna end up defending him to her friend. She's gonna be like, well, he's this, he's that. I love him. I can just see it. I can just see it. Her defending him, even the way she's sitting by him right now, all tender and stuff. This isn't just for optics. Optics is standing there in the corner of the room, standing next to him, not with your arm around him and cradling him. You know what I mean? Get out of here. But that's it for that segment. Picture it. Boom. Friend zone. All right, so boom. I believe last episode, it was the infamous awkward hug, almost kiss of Robin and Andy, and he made the comment of, "I'm in the friend zone." Now, do you think Robin will stay in the friend zone? We're gonna start with you, Tika.
He's going to stay in whatever position Andy allows him in, whatever space in her life. He's willing to be in it as long as he's allowed to occupy space in Andy's life, because at some point in time, she's going to have a change of heart and say, "Oh, Robin, I love you. Let's make it work." and that's all in his mind.
Yeah.
Oh, so Daryl.
Yeah, I think that he could really get much deeper than the friend zone, but I think he's going to be cool with staying there for a minute. But he's got some moves to make.
When somebody puts emphasis on the friend zone, is it a real thing? Like when you actually have to say it, when you actually have to say I'm in the friend zone, does it really exist? Like
Yeah.
I'm just because I feel like if I have to say it and I'm still around you, we know that there's some type of tension. There's some type of tension around whether it's sexual or more from either one of us. So I don't know. I feel funny about that word friend zone because there's always going to be one person that feels a certain type of way.
But that's the reason why it has to be
No?
said. It has to be said by the person who doesn't feel that type of way, so that you know. Stay over there, buddy.
All right. That's all I got for that. All right, picture it. Boom. So in this picture, I don't think this made it. I don't think we actually saw this, but Karen has on that outfit in the episode that we just saw, and we see Zach touching the baby bump. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to actually make it on an episode or next week's episode, because this didn't happen, right, Tika? We didn't see this actually happen, right? All
No, we
right,
haven't
Today, for
so
seen it.
sure.
Zach is touching. All right, so in this scenario, what do you guys think is happening in this scenario? I'm gonna start with you this time, Sir Daryl.
I don't know. I'm looking at the way Karen is looking at him. Man, I'm looking at the way Karen is looking at him. Who knows? Maybe the baby was kicking. I mean, I do remember one time the baby was kicking and he felt it, but she wasn't that far along, so that had to be a while back, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Tika.
It's just Zach trying to be a good dad. He's trying to spend time with one of his babies. He's touching her stomach. Maybe the baby is kicking, but they say when you talk to the baby in utero that the baby can kind of hear the parent. So maybe he's thinking when I'm gonna talk to my baby, and when the baby comes out, it's babies at this point, but when the babies come out, they'll recognize me. They'll have some sense of familiarity with me as their dad. We're bonding. That's just one of those moments.
When my daughter was in the womb, I used to talk to her like all day long, and especially at night. Her mother used to get so pissed off because she was trying to sleep, and I would be down there just like having these long conversations with my kid. But I will say that after she was born, it was my voice that could just calm her down all the time. It's an interesting science that I wish they would study a little bit more. But sound travels on water far.
Right.
That's so true. Those dolphins be
Yep.
shooting those sound waves in the
Yeah.
ocean.
Yep. They do. It's the truth.
Yep.
All right. All right. Picture it. Boom. So we got Novi. Her birthday, I believe, was either today or yesterday. She turned 38 years old. Want to wish her a happy birthday if she's watching, and I hope she's watching Very Necessary. That's it for that.
That's
Happy
it.
birthday,
Happy birthday.
Novi.
Happy birthday.
Beautiful.
All right, boom. The 6888, a Netflix movie that my girl is in, Karen. Crap, what's her real name?
I can never say it.
Ebony Obsidian.
Whoa, say it one more time.
Yeah, that's it.
Ebony Obsidian.
Obsidian. Obsidian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it on this photo, but I don't see it. Yeah, that was my bad. So I'm excited about seeing this film. It looks like it's like one of those films that was in the past, and it's a few sisters actors that's on this film. I know Andy's on it, Elder Mother, and so it's quite a few of them that's on this movie. So it's going to be something to see. I think it comes out in December, if I'm not mistaken.
This month?
Yeah, this month.
December. Yeah,
Yeah.
December. Yeah. The
I'm
20th or something like
excited.
that.
I'm excited for it as well because as a soldier, a army veteran, to finally tell the story of some women soldiers, to some black women soldiers. On top of that, how much they had an impact on supporting the military. So I'm super excited just to hear that story, and then to put the icing on the cake, it has some of those familiar actors that we have grown to love, such as Ebony, such as, like you stated before, Bajalin. And I feel like it's gonna be a good one. It's a remade story, or not a remade story, but what they call it, when it was something that a real life story. It happened, and now they're gonna tell about all these army women who literally go into the army just to, not just to, but to sort mail and give it out to the soldiers, because that's morale. When you don't have mail coming in, your morale is low. And so that's what these ladies are there to do. They're there to, boost the morale for the army soldiers. So listen, I'm so excited, y'all. I know I don't talk that much, but I talk when it comes to the army situations, because that's just what I was and what I did.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
I remember seeing that there was a movie
Yeah.
coming out where there were a bunch of soldiers, but I didn't know this was it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I was excited to get your perspective on the movie, Tika. That's why I made sure to add this on
Thank
Picture It. And this is like when you mentioned the fact that to boost morale, I didn't even think about that because this is before social media. This is before you can go online and entertain yourself on your phone. A lot of people
Right.
just will have a postcard. I'm sure just looking at a postcard, reading it for hours. So to get that mail and see what's going on in the world, that was social media for the time. So it's so
Yeah.
Right.
cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Picture it. So we just got another scene from the six triple eight, just so you can get a visual. And it's so cool to see. And it is just so cool to see familiar actors in a different role, a movie role, because some of them I haven't seen in a movie before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, all right. So this scene that coming up, picture it. This scene is called.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you find. So I kind of titled this scene "Danny versus Fatima" because in this cat fight, this is the first time Danny met Fatima, and Fatima kind of rubbed her the wrong way. And after we watch the clip, I want to hear Danny versus Fatima without guns. Who would win? And let's just watch the clip.
Who is it? You ain't gonna do that.
Fatima, you gotta go, please. Get out. Go. Go.
I'm gonna make this one thing clear to you, Karen. Zach don't want you. Okay?
Who is it?
All right, that was-
You ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, it got choppy, but so she tells Danny, and what the F you gonna do? And that was just their first interaction with each other. But they kind of got over it really fast though.
Oh,
But
yeah,
so
they
I'm gonna
girls
start
now.
with you, Tika. Danny versus Fatima in that first scene. Who would win?
I think they would. I can't call a winner because I think they would have given each other a run for their money. They probably would have got tired after so many minutes and would have been like, "Okay, I'm done. Well, we both win." For a minute. Because like we've seen the damage that Fatima can do. We've also seen Danny jump some dudes at the club. So it's like I don't know. They'll be neck and neck. It'll be hilarious. Now you know what? I am not. Saying that it's okay to get violent, but that would have been a good one.
That would have been a nice violence to watch.
But that was before
Sir Daryl.
that was before we grew to love Fatima. I'm sorry, that was before we grew to love Fatima. I wouldn't dare want to see them do that now.
Yeah, well, a couple of us grew to love
Yeah,
Fatima.
that's true.
There's one of us
That's
who did
true.
it.
Oh, I love Fatima, but I can always call her out, and I'm gonna ask you, Tika, because I never asked you. Was Fatima wrong in this situation when she walked in Karen's house? Because Sir Daryl says she wasn't, And I said that she was wrong for walking in that house, and I never got your perspective on this episode.
Yeah, she shouldn't have just walked. She shouldn't have walked in, regardless of Andy. Was it Andy that invited her, or something happened where she was there, or she went to address her? Whatever the case
Yeah,
was,
she
she
didn't even get
really did.
invited. She didn't even get
She
invited.
okay,
She
so
just
she
found
didn't.
out that it was going down and went.
Okay, so she had no justification to even be there. Like, come on, Fatima, don't do that. Like, you better than that.
Hmm.
So nah, she wasn't justified.
Next. All right, picture it. Is Fatima pregnant on Sisters yet?
I mean, I feel like they gotta say it. They gotta say it out loud, right?
I think so. I was just curious, because I know she's pregnant on
Zatima.
Zatima,
Yeah.
but yeah, but is she pregnant on Sisters yet? And I know a few people mentioned it in chat. They was like, oh, she looks pregnant. I'm just like, no, she's not. Uh, they didn't mention it yet on Sisters, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like until they mention it, it ain't happening.
Yep. What do you think, Tika?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I thought that she did say something to Andy, but then again, I could have had my wires twisted, and it probably was Angela that she actually had that conversation with. So she
Hmm.
not
I
pregnant on
feel like she
sisters. That, like you said, they gotta say it.
I feel like I remember something about that too, but now as I'm thinking back, I think that what I might be remembering was, whatever montage they do to talk about what all goes down this season. Like we haven't gotten there yet, but it does seem like I remember her saying something to Andy where it's clear that she's telling her that she's gonna have a baby.
Right, right. Now I'm gonna be tripling
Okay,
back
okay.
to see if I missed something.
Now, what's Karen's reaction gonna be to that? Are we gonna find out how grown up
I
she
think
actually is?
Karen's gonna be cool with it. Karen's gonna be because she's already made it clear that she said all of us getting along. It seems like everybody's respecting each other. I think Karen could care less. That's what I think. Because even when Zach pops up unannounced, the conversation is cool. Because even in that last clip when he's touching a baby bump, it's at Karen's salon again, and I'm pretty sure he just popped up. Um, and the conversations are usually just, "How you doing?" Like, okay, nonchalant. So ever since that time jump and Karen's been pregnant, she has not been seeking Zach. That's what I noticed. Right?
Man, what a
Picture it.
shot! Look at them eyes.
So we already, I think we already broke this down during the episode. In a scenario, I talked about. Oh wait, no, boom. This segment is called Ride or Die. I'm sorry. So from a scale of 1 to 10, we're gonna look at all of the sidekicks. So this is Gary's sidekick, and from a scale of 1 to 10, how ride or die are they? And And then we're gonna narrow down who's the number one ride or die sidekick. So from a scale of 1 to 10, this is Mr. Hudson. How good of a sidekick is he to Gary?
I think that from everything that we know, he's given the appearance of being a 10, but we don't know what he really is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
okay,
with
so we
that.
just going by based off of what we know.
Yes.
Uh, uh, See, I can't even just say he's up to something because that's just me speculating because I don't know. So I want to say a 10, but he got that power of attorney, but he hasn't done anything wrong,
Ain't
and
done nothing with it yet.
he do be pro- he be protecting Gary, so I'm gonna go with a 10. But even after we're gonna rate all of the sidekicks all together also. All right, so next, so everybody's saying 10 for Hudson.
10.
All right, picture it, sidekick. So Fatima is Andy's sidekick. So you give Fatima a 10
Yes.
for, as a sidekick.
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because she's there. She's ride or die. She's the definition of that. She pulled up in that parking lot when them girls are trying to jump her with that gun.
And she's
Just
right.
overall, she goes beyond and above. Yeah, I think it's.
Only
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you go, Tika. Then I'll go. I go last. I'll let you go.
I mean, for all things stated just a minute ago or a few seconds ago from Sir Daryl, she is that ride or die. She is a 10 on a 10 on a 10. And she is a voice of reasoning sometimes for Andy, but then when if something is going wrong, Andy is in a bad situation, she's gonna go and protect her. She called Madam. The one time she called Madam. So you know what I mean? She's a 10. She's definitely a 10.
I was gonna say a 10, but the only reason I was gonna take away 1 point is because sometimes when Fatima is angry, she don't listen to Andy because Andy is her boss, but at the same time they're friends also. So just like for a perfect example, when Fatima came to Karen's house, Andy was like, "You need to leave." She was like, "Oh, you only my boss from 9 to 5." She wasn't trying to hear nothing that Andy Trout was trying to say. So I was gonna take off a point for that, but I guess she still can be a ride or die friend. It's just in that certain scenario, she wasn't trying to hear nothing Andy was trying to say. I'll still give her a 10. Screw it. I don't know. Boom, picture it. Ride or die. We got Pam and Karen. It's Pam a ride or die from scale of 1 to 10. Tika.
I'm giving Pam a 7.5.
Okay, explain why.
She's definitely ride or die when things are looking to go in her way. That's just for sure. But she does some things that take away from being ride or die. For example, running up that woman's credit card like that. I mean, Fatima ain't finna do that to Andy. She was using ride or dies don't use somebody for what they can get out of them.
But see that's why I gave back that point to Fatima because I didn't take away from the fact I can still be a ride or die, but does that have anything to do with being a ride or die if I eat up the time clock, and you my boss? I can still be a ride or die, but does that have anything
If
to
that
do
could
with
hurt the
me
business,
riding the clock and me not working?
if that could hurt the business, you ain't your right. You're not a ride or die when it comes to that business.
Well, Fatima does the same thing then. So if
It
that's the
doesn't
case,
have any
then you should
effect on
take points
Andy
from
on
Fatima.
Andy's business.
Whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean? If
I mean,
you know how many cases, Fatima doesn't get right or leaving Andy out of the loop when it comes to when Miss Marie was in the office and Fatima didn't even tell Andy that Miss Marie was in the office with a pissed off face. Remember that? Like, come on.
all right.
I'm just saying. Because I didn't know we was taking our points for stuff like that, but if we are, I
Well,
need
I
to
wasn't taking
readjust.
off points. That's just why I didn't go all the way to 10. I was starting at 0.
All right. Tika.
I'm starting
Oh,
at a
you already gave
6.
this one?
Nah, I'm starting at a 6. I'm gonna stay at a 6. She's used Karen's money. She has ordered products without letting Karen know that these products are coming for her own creations. Like she has done the most. Karen cannot really trust her the way that she needs to. If she was a ride or die, Karen wouldn't have to tell her, girl, make sure the plugs are unplugged and make sure this is done and make sure. She wouldn't have to do that. She would just automatically know to do that. So for me, that's why she get that 6. And she lucky she didn't get a 5.
Y'all doing my girl so wrong. Y'all doing my girl wrong. Okay, I can't even be mad at it because Pam she got her ways. I'm gonna give her an 8. I'm being gracious. I give her an 8. Picture it, ride or die. Maurice,
No.
scale of 1 to 10. How ride or die is he? But and like, and I'm almost conflicted to say I want to leave. I want to leave out the work aspect because they are friends. So we just talking about ride or die. But
No.
go ahead, go Tika. I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna definitely say that he's a 8.9. And the reason I say that is because he was willing to sacrifice himself for the crime that they did not commit, but he was willing to sacrifice himself for her. This man was willing to go and sit down, as they say, for her, for Sabrina. So, that 8.9, but sometimes he gets beside himself and go to just putting them in certain positions that causes himself to have to be her ride or die. So 8.9 for me.
I'm giving him a 2. And that is because he is
Oh man.
constantly doing everything that he can do that will help himself and not giving a damn about the impact or effect that his actions have on her. And when it comes to that, him going to jail, he talked all that crap, and then literally 5 seconds later, he was like, "I can't do no time." He was just, ew. Yeah, no, he ain't.
That's true.
He's a ride and he's a 10 when it comes to ride or die for himself. And even then, he probably argues with himself.
I'm gonna lean towards what Tika said, yeah, because he was when the grease hits the skillet, uh, he does come through for Sabrina. I don't know about everybody else, but he does come through for Sabrina, and I will say that. Uh, I'm gonna give him I'll say 7. I give him 7.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. So okay, so out of all of the ride or die sidekicks, who is number one?
Fatima.
Who's the number one sidekick?
Fatima.
Oh, but sir, there, because I just caught you and stuff because you said that she was a sister. I just wanted to see if you was gonna catch that, but you didn't. So
She's
you
still
just
a
acknowledged
sidekick.
that she's a sidekick. Oh, no,
She's
I'm
Andy's
just okay.
sidekick.
Uh, oh, she's sidekick, right?
She's Andy's sidekick. Yes.
She's Andy's sidekick. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but she's number one. Tika.
Yeah, definitely Fatima. Hands down. She will put hands down for Andy. So definitely Fatima.
Yeah, I'll go with Fatima. She seems to because we just see her. I see her a lot more. Uh, yeah, I see her a lot more. So I can't even compare Pam with Fatima. So yeah, I'll go with Fatima. Yeah, that's all I got. Anybody got anything else to say? Any projects they're working on?
Oh, well, I'll go
No.
ahead and go.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and go.
Tika's the only one of us that's in demand right now.
Oh, don't do that. Well, let's see. Jeez, and okay. So Sunday, I do have Virtual Club Eden. It consists of myself, EJ the TV Junkie, and we're going to talk about all the Queen's Men. On Monday, I have Crosstalk, where we're going to talk about the Cross series. Consists of myself, VKJTV, and a few other people, and we got a special guest coming through for Crosstalk, and it's gonna shake our boots. We got one of the craziest ones coming to the live, y'all. And what else do I have? I got some Christmas. I think I'm gonna do like a 5 days to a Christmas series where I talk about a lot of the Christmas movies that are streaming on BET Plus. And I'll probably do Tubi has some good stuff on there. I'll probably do Tubi as well. And just check out my conversation about Yellowstone and definitely Dexter Origin. I'm definitely looking forward to talking about that. And that's it.
Yeah, Jeff and I were talking about that the other day. So you're a Dexter person, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I love Dexter. For me, is just I think it's the my favorite show in history. the original
Right.
Dexter. And I was talking to somebody. I used to the very first podcast that I did was on Dexter. That was my foray into podcasting gear. You know, when Dexter was on, and so we will review it every week. And it's I was talking to the guy who I was co-hosting with back then, and we were saying that neither one of us were very fond of the idea when they came out with that Dexter a couple years ago, where they jumped into the
New
future.
Blood.
New Blood.
New
And
Blood.
yeah, I haven't even watched that. Did you watch that?
I
I
actually
watched the whole
watched
thing.
it.
Everybody who I know who watched it said it was really good, and both of us were afraid to watch it because we didn't want the brand ruined in any kind of way. So I am going to go back and watch it, but I am stupid excited for this because going backwards and seeing the progression that's everything to me.
Absolutely, because when they very first give us Dexter, they kind of give us bits and pieces of his backstory, but
Yeah.
now they're gonna give us a deeper dive into
It was little bits and
how
pieces.
he
Yeah, it was little bits and pieces throughout all of the seasons, though. And we still
Right.
only got little bits throughout this whole season. Just to be able to go to through a whole episode of back then, that's going to be amazing to me.
Absolutely.
Well, like I say, I've been a huge fan of Michael C. Hall because I used to watch this show called 6 Feet Under. That's
Yeah,
why I got into Dexter because I used to
yeah.
watch this show called 6 Feet Under, which I was a huge fan of. But as far as Dexter, like I used to have all the freaking DVDs, the series. I have bought all of the series, the whole series on DVD. I hated the way I hated the way they ended the first series,
Yeah, I don't know
Dexter.
anybody who didn't hate
I
that. I don't know
I
anybody who
hated
didn't
how
hate
they ended it. It was such a slap in the face. Then when New Blood came out, they had the opportunity. They kind of set us up for success. I'm like, okay, they got his weird son Harrison finding him randomly, finding him out. I said, okay, I'll go for it. And then it was just they ended it so. I hated the way they ended that one. I don't know. I just hated New Blood. It wasn't horrible. It could have been so much better. They ended it stupid once again, and I just felt like Michael C. Hall. I'm like, Michael C. Hall, did you just get tired of doing the show? I don't because like I feel like I want Michael C. Hall to be on the show, but I mean with this new one that's coming out, I guess he's gonna be like a voiceover.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess.
he's still the voice, the
Um,
same voice. Yeah.
but I hope this one is a lot better. You know,
I'm rooting for this
I
one.
really
Like
enjoy.
when I saw it
Yeah.
was there, I got real excited.
Yeah, I think they felt like they need to redeem themselves because of that. The way that the last one ended, I think the writers, the creators, felt like they needed to redeem themselves. So I'm just excited just to see how it's gonna fall. How everything is gonna play out, and because like that last scene we saw where Dexter was laid out in the snow and had a hole and he was
Hmm.
leaking and. So it's like, how are they gonna? Is it gonna be him, like going to the hospital and he's going in the back of his mind as to, how when you get close to being unalive, you're seeing things. Or I've never been close to being unalive, thankfully. But it's like they say you
Oh, so you
see
think
your
they're gonna
past.
tie? You think they're gonna tie the two together? I just assumed they were gonna start as a teenager or something.
I mean, I'm sure I saw a few little different moments on what is it, Showtime, Paramount, where they're kind of giving little bits and pieces of Dexter. As I believe it's Paramount on Instagram on their IG channel or IG page. So
Okay. Well,
we'll
whatever it is,
we'll
I'm
see.
watching it 100%.
Great.
This is the first.
Absolutely.
This is one of the first shows in a long time outside of the Tyler Perry universe where the moment I found out about it, I just started making plans that I'll be watching this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The last time I was this excited for a show was when I saw the previews of Ruthless. I got hyped for that.
I feel you. I'm there. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
And let down every time they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. been a pleasure having you again on the platform, Tika. I know you are
Yes.
busy later. All right, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and also Tika, all things ruthless. Anything else from you guys?
Nothing from me.
All right. Till next time.
Bye, everybody.
Stay
Later.
blessed.